The human wanderer, Kale, had never believed in destiny, yet the path that led him to the ruined world of Nerithus would make him question everything he thought he knew about freedom, mercy, and the dangers of misplaced compassion. Nerithus was a silent graveyard of a planet. Shattered towers jutted from the gray earth like broken bones, and the winds whispered through hollow ruins, carrying with them the echoes of a civilization that had once ruled the stars. Kale had come here chasing rumors. Treasure hunters spoke of ancient vaults hidden beneath the surface, vaults filled with knowledge and relics beyond price. For a human like him, scraping by in the shadow of greater empires, such whispers were irresistible. What he found was not treasure, but a prison. Deep in the ruins, beneath a collapsed citadel, he stumbled upon a chamber still pulsing with faint energy. Inside, he found two alien sisters. One sat in silence, regal despite her chains, her eyes like molten gold. The other glared at him with a restless smile, her wrists bound so tightly the shackles had cut into her skin. They were beautiful and strange, their very presence carrying the weight of something more than mortal. Kale's breath caught, because in their condition he saw not criminals but victims. The elder spoke first. Her voice was gentle but edged with sorrow. "Please," she whispered, "free us, before they return." Those words dug into his heart. Kale had lived his whole life under alien kings and alien queens who treated humans as lesser, as pawns and servants. Now here he was, standing before two women who looked like royalty themselves, yet bound, humiliated, forgotten. Something in him rebelled against it. He did not ask who had imprisoned them or why. He did not stop to wonder what their crimes might have been. His human heart, stubborn and reckless, only knew that chains meant suffering, and suffering meant he must act. He broke their bonds. The elder sighed as the shackles fell, closing her eyes as though bracing for some inevitable storm. The younger, however, laughed, a sharp, unsettling laugh that echoed through the chamber like the cracking of glass. It was not the laugh of someone freed from torment, but of someone who had waited a very long time for this moment. The hairs on Kale's neck rose, but he told himself it was only his nerves. He had done the right thing. He had to believe that. Then the elder placed her hand against his chest. Her touch was cool, trembling with urgency. "You don't understand," she said. "We were not prisoners. We were containment." Kale frowned, confused, but before he could demand answers the fortress above them shuddered. Dust fell from the ceiling. The sky beyond the ruins roared with thunder, not of storms but of warships tearing through the atmosphere. Red lights flared in the distant clouds, and moments later the ground shook beneath the descent of raider craft. They had come not for conquest, but for the sisters. The elder's eyes closed in pain. The younger's smile widened into something feral. Kale's heart pounded as realization struck him. His act of mercy had been the key the raiders were waiting for. He had set into motion a chain of events no human could stop. The siege began swiftly. Raiders poured into the ruins, armored brutes with plasma rifles and jagged banners. They moved with ruthless precision, encircling the chamber like predators. Kale raised his weapon, though he knew it was useless. He expected the sisters to cower, to cling to him for protection. Instead, the younger stepped forward, her eyes blazing like twin suns. Chains had hidden her, but no chain could disguise what she truly was. Power radiated from her in waves, a presence that made even the raiders falter. The elder whispered, "This is why we were locked away." Kale could only watch in horror as the younger unleashed herself. With a gesture, the air ignited. Raiders were flung back, their armor melting under invisible force. Her laughter filled the chamber again, triumphant and terrible. The elder tried to restrain her, shouting her name, but the damage was done. The secret was no longer hidden. These were not helpless victims, they were weapons. They were heirs of something so dangerous that even alien kings had chosen chains over freedom. Kale staggered back, torn between awe and dread. His instincts screamed at him to run, yet his conscience anchored him in place. He had freed them. Their actions, their power, their destruction, was it now his responsibility? The siege raged on above, fire and steel clashing as raiders fought to claim what they had sought for generations. The younger sister reveled in it, wielding her abilities like a storm-given form. The elder, however, turned to Chaol, her face stricken with regret. "You must understand," she said, "our family did not imprison us out of hatred. They feared what we would become. And now," her eyes drifted to the chaos, "now the galaxy will remember why." Chaol clenched his fists, his chest heavy with the weight of his choice. He had thought himself a savior, a hero who freed the innocent. Instead, he had unleashed a nightmare. The raiders had not brought danger to the sisters had drawn danger to themselves. Their very existence was a beacon, a promise of power no empire could ignore. The younger's laughter carried into the sky, mingling with the screams of the dying. The elder's tears shone in the firelight. And Chaol, standing between them, finally understood, sometimes chains were not meant to break. Sometimes the cruelest mercy was to leave the locks intact. He thought he had saved 2 alien sisters. But the siege of Nerithus showed him why they had been locked away.